you been? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you good. My name is Aderonke Onikbedi, and thank you for joining me on Aderonke Live Show. It's been a fantastic week, and I hope yours has been great as well. Last week, we have another amazing Akoma, one of the ladies from the Nigerian female bobsled team. And she was amazing on the show. And tonight, I assure you, this is so going to be insightful, it's going to be educative, and it's going to be inspiring for you to hear from this amazing, I call her Easy Mama, from this amazing woman that has been doing marvelous things even after retirement. I know a lot of us are wondering what is going on. What do I need to do when the job is all gone, when the 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. and sometimes some people do 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Some people do 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Some people even don't have time, and from her life story, I personally realized that you can do so much more. You need to hear her story to hear to see for yourself or hear for yourself, whichever way you want to say it. You need to go to, join all the platforms, whether Facebook or Instagram, and see the amazing work she's doing, especially on fitness, elder living, giving back to the society, trying to, put so much that of her dreams, trying to achieve, as if, she's just doing everything, and I'm so amazed by the work that she's doing. She's here with me in the studio, and I'm going to bring her on live. Please join me, welcome this energetic, very strong, she's above 50 low, so that you understand that she's not just a small girl, energetic, strong, very versatile, inspiring, and she is a daughter of God. So no excuses, anybody. And she's even from a very conservative church. I think somebody should guess the church that she attends. I have a gift for someone that cannot guess. So put your hands together with me as I welcome onto the show, Mrs. Eziafakaku Nwokolo. I'm sure if I mother that name, she will kill me live on studio. Welcome, Ezi Mama. Welcome on the show.
Hi. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well.
Don't worry, you didn't murder the name. You did well.
Thank God. Thank God. So how have you been to?
Tired, exhausted today. I've been on my feet literally the whole day, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with if I'm doing what I like, better to be moving, like I tell people. There's yet time to rest after we are dead and gone. For there's no work where we're going, Abby, by God's grace. Only one thing, just to praise God. So we're good. And yourself, how has your day been? How are you?
It's been good. I've been doing what I love to do. That's why I have people like you that I was in the business owners on marketing and sales for business owners. So I took on facilitating today, and it was amazing. It's been beautiful. So I've been all day, but I'm happy to be, to get this opportunity to interview you. Thank you for honoring my invitation. Thank you for, and it's been amazing to see this part of you, because me and you, we've been in the field. Now,
anytime.
Good to have you. So share with us. Has the journey been with you? You've worked in the corporate, international, multinational company for so many years. And how was it there? Let's start from there. How was it for you? How has it been?
It was brilliant. It was good. It was nice. It afforded me the opportunity at least to pay the bills at the time. And, like I say, everything is for a season. And so paying the bills, it met the bills at the time. And I actually learned as well from the environment and acquired skills I probably wouldn't have acquired anywhere else in order to either improve aspects of my life or even run a business on my own or counsel people. So it was quite good. But one thing I do know is that, like I tell people, never ever put all your eggs in one basket or have just that one-way traffic in terms of life. Always diversify. So even when I was working, I think by the fifth year I was like, okay, I've worked, so what next? But I mean, there were still things to do. Being just about how many years married and all of that. And I'm thinking, okay, so if we stop now, husband is growing a business, what next? So let's just tough it out some more. So it was good. It was good. well, it lasted.
What made you realize that okay, I need to do other things? You said in your fifth year when you were working. What was that connection for you? What gave you that nerve that just talked you a little?
Because I'm always moving. I like challenges. I like change. I like doing new things. And I just thought, okay, so I've I've now done all of, what next? I was looking for the next step.
Challenging thing.
Yes, I've had the office job. Okay, so is this it? Okay, I've had it. What's new? So for me, that was it. But like I said, there were other variables as well. It was not being married and having kids. I had
Yeah.
to consider that as well, and siblings and all of that, and my mom. So it was no longer so much about just me. You know what I mean? It was, I had to look at the total picture and figure out, okay, what really should I be doing, or how should I do? And of course, think about it prayerfully. And then I had friends who were also like, okay, just calm down. And I mean, just, hang in there. So I
Yeah.
hung in there. I had to keep
For 15
changing.
years.
Yes, I had to for over 20, how many years? Over 20 years. And I knew I had, but one thing I did was I just kept moving around. So I always look for opportunities to move around in
Within
the,
the same
yes,
organization.
within the same organization. So rather than go out, I could just change jobs. So I would always look for, okay, where is there an opening? It would be something I never really had done. And then I'll think, oh, okay, this looks interesting. It's probably something I can do. Then I'll apply for that and then move. So that way I just kept moving and
Moving.
kind of inventing myself and acquiring new skills and things like that. So nothing was really off limits for me apart from, well, where I would have had to tell a lie or something.
That's good. I like that idea, because lots of people don't know that within the same organization, if there are opportunities for you when you feel you're tired on a particular job skill and you need to move to another unit, than just transitioning to another job, you can actually transit within the same organization, and you keep
Yeah.
empowering yourself and learning something new. I like that. I like that's a new
Yeah.
angle. Some people, in case you like that same organization, you like the process, you like the structure, you're comfortable with the pay, which is very important as well. Instead of you trying to move out of it, why don't you try see if the opportunities? Some very few organizations give that room, but if you are fortunate to be among, like you were, among the ones that were given such opportunity, I think you should take it up than going to a terrain that you don't know anything.
Look, the other thing is that you have to get up and look. People always, well, I'm not one of those that waits for stuff to come to
Like,
me. I usually am more of the aggressive, in quotes, type.
very
I
proactive.
go, I seek. You know what I mean? It's just I go and seek after it. I think that I've prayed about it. Sometimes I might even start moving before the prayer, but I'm constantly moving. So I'm like, okay, what do I want to do next? I'm really tired, I get restless, and then I just go looking. You have to understand the structure of the environment you're in, and then
Yes,
really, because some people just feel that they need to sit in one spot. So if I'm in accounting, sit in accounting. If I'm in HR, sit in HR and not move. But who knows? You might, if you do a little bit of research, what does accounting actually entail? What does HR entail? Is this something I would like to do? Do I have the necessary skills? If I don't, are there skills that I can acquire, in order to be able to change? And most times when you actually talk to HODs or managers or GMs or people like that, they can actually educate you,
yes,
and then you take up the courses, even if the courses are not offered within the organization. Find out whether it's online, wherever, and equip yourself. Okay, the knowledge does not ever end as far as I'm concerned, and no knowledge is wasted anyway, even if it's knowledge about how to fry puff puff.
yes.
It's not wasted.
Yeah, true. Because some people are making money from it. As far as there's a value being derived from it, there's
Yeah.
nothing is of waste. Even waste has become so useful. because now they recycle waste and they make something out of it. So invariably it means that nothing is only zero. It's only nothing that is useless, so that's good. So okay, so now I like that. So even after you keep changing the same organization and you kept learning on the skills and improving on yourself, so when you now finally leave, when did you know that okay, it was time to retire?
Okay, so at the time, I think we had how many units? Maybe I can't quite remember. Maybe about 10. And I had said to myself, I was going to go through all of them. And then we had like how many floors in the office? So you have like 4 floors, and each with 2 wings, and each one had a different unit. So I said to myself, I'm going to sit on every floor in this organization before I leave. So I literally had sat in different buildings. But then I started doing a job. I was now in a job where I would be away from the family, and then I'll come home, see them, I'll be away from the family. And I just thought to myself, really, I'm actually tired of this whole thing. And like I said, I'd been meditating, and I said to myself, okay, there's a roof over my head, the so-called creature comfort. You've driven a car, you've done. So what else is there about life? What else is there to do? And I thought, okay, all my children, I have plenty of them, have graduated from university, even though my own biological kids at the time hadn't, but a lot of them were out, some married, some working, and they were in a position to begin to take care of their own family members. And I just thought, okay, now one thing I do know is that God, I don't want to stop being useful. I don't want to stop helping mission field and things like that. So I really had to meditate. And I just kind of knew when that prayer was answered, or when I got that nudge. And I had my other people that were praying as well. And I looked at everything that was happening, and I really knew I was tired. I was really, apart from being physically tired, imagine going from Ikeja into VI, Lekki every day. That's in Lagos, it was just exhausting. I knew I had it. I knew that I was really, really bone tired beyond the psychological weariness and everything. And I just knew I had to. This was it. You get to that point where instead of adding value, you're now almost imploding. I said, if I use my hand and behave like a chicken, scratch and scatter, scratch and cover, just come and be going. So that was it. And of course, I had discussed with my husband, and he was like, okay, his greatest challenge was you, that you're always doing something. Going to do. I said, don't worry, we'll sort it out. First of all, I'll sleep for 6 months to recover from the Lagos traffic, and then we'll take it from there. So I it was, I knew I had to. My siblings, people, yes, were all out, and so I just thought, okay, everybody is in a position now to do other things. So I think I've done my bit. Time to go.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. I like the way you because even when you hear all these things that you stated, truly it was just time to move on, And did you actually sleep for the 6 months?
Nah.
You can't do that.
Nah.
Not the kind of energy that you have. So after you now left, and I like the fact that it was affecting family. They were traveling a lot and all that. So when you now left, how did you now discover what to do? Now you've retired, but I'm sure after retirement, the egole made sense.
When you think about it, kids are still in university. How many had gone to university there? So everybody thought, oh, you retire, and how are you going to train the children? I said, leave that. They are God's children. It will be sorted out as far as I'm concerned. But see, right now, me personally, I need to be alive first before thinking that far. Maybe there's roof over my head. Don't worry, we'll drink Gary now. And you all be, when I'm losing weight, you'll just be doing guy that actually me were maintaining. That's me. At what age? That's just the children that we need to worry about. And, like I said, discuss with them. But by the time I was getting ready to leave, and don't forget, remember I had been dabbling into all sorts of things, you know, I
Yeah,
was
you were catering. You were doing catering services at the time.
catering and just thought, okay, and of course, you know me, anything that I do, it has to be done to perfection. So I
Yeah.
was doing that, had the staff I was managing, but you know, I also have a daughter. One of the girls has got autism, okay? And we've done services in country, brought people in, and I just started to think about it as well. Or I had been thinking about it that look, instead of sitting and grumbling about certain things, the level of expertise and all of, why don't you just do something about it? So before I also left, I started investigating that shall I just go back to school, do a training? What kind of training did I want to do in order to, you know, transition into this field, or just do something instead of grumbling, be a source of help as well. So I started investigating and I realized, okay, I wanted to change. If I really wanted to change and go down this path, why don't you just seek out the proper training? So I did a quick 1 month. I mean, this is all after searching, sending various email world over, looking for schools and how to go about it. And I found something, and I now applied and said, okay, let me start from the small grassroots. Let's do technician first, just to be sure that this is what I really want to do before I go and bite off the one I can't swallow, not even chew it. So I did a quick course, the technician one, and it opened my eyes, and I realized that yes, this is something that I actually would want to do in the area of providing services, intervention for that population. And of course, having a daughter that has autism and all kind of made it a bit easier to understand what it was and what it is I needed to be doing or I would like to see people doing. So it was, I did that training about a week or so after retiring, roughly. So I did that. I retired in June. I did the training in July. So you see how I did not sleep for
So
my
did not
6
sleep. You did not rest. You claimed
just
you wanted
like 2 weeks, I just carried on, you know. So I did that, and I was like, okay, looks like it. So after that, I then decided to do the next level training, which was the undergraduate coursework equivalent. So I did that for 1 year and began to like say, yes, this is what it is about. So it's all in the field of applied behavior analysis. I did all of that. By the time I was finishing, did some research, and I'm thinking, okay, I can't really stop at this level. Oh. I have to go further. And so the next thing was to do a master's. Mind you, when I started working, when I had my first child, N1, I had applied to do master's. I got the admission. I deferred that master's like 3 times. I think by the third deferral of the admission, the university didn't answer me again. I thought they thought this man is not even serious. And it was to go and do, well, I can't even remember what it was. But I thought about it again. How do I want to be dragging Peking to go to university? I beg, I beg. I don't have power for this. But here I am now, retired, and I thought, okay, let me do the next step, because if I stop at this level, it wouldn't really be as impactful
to.
as
Yeah.
I imagine. Exactly. So but at that time too, I had started the organization, the Shades of Life, and we were providing service, small scale. I didn't want to make too much noise because I knew I was still going to leave and do the masters. So I then left in 2016 to do the masters. So that masters was for 1 year. And at the same time I was doing the masters, I was still coordinating the services here at home. So I would shuttle come, we'll do assessments for people, just still keeping it small. And of course, pushing some other young people to go do the training as well. So they'll be equipped. And I kind of preferred getting people who are blank, who didn't know anything in the field, because
Mm.
it easier for all of us. We are all novices in this field, so nobody was coming to tell us, "Oh, do it this way or not," because we wanted to change the story and the landscape. You know what I mean? So
Yes, I
did
do.
that, and we kind of grew from there, and it was just so lovely. And I think
Mm.
what me going was the appreciation and support from home. My husband very supportive, my parents, my siblings, and the people that we were serving actually seeing, oh wow, there's a difference. I mean, like I don't market. I'm not like you that know how to talk and market. I'm just in my
You
in my
do. That's what I said. Everyone does marketing unconsciously. You do, as long
well,
as you
that's
can.
what I've been told though. One of
Yeah,
my friends, we did training, say every
you
time we talk to
you have done
market,
reference for me for a lot of people. And when I ask you that, Mama, do you know this person? You'll be like, okay, I can get someone that can do that. That's marketing. As long as you can, you've experienced the person, and so you are
okay.
sharing the experience. That's marketing.
Okay, all right. So I just thought that was word of mouth because that's what I tell my people. Just you focus on what you're doing, do it well, and your work to speak for you. You know, like he says, seers are a man diligent in their ways and what they do, they'll stand before. So for me,
Okay.
that's what I believe in that. Look,
Yeah.
let your work speak, especially in this field, because there's so many people who have had experiences. Some come to us, they've been exposed to all sorts, and they're like, eh, and you want to really see what the difference is. So that's why I say to them, just focus on what you're doing. The work will speak for you, and that's where it is. And I thank you as well because you've also sent people and say, "Oh, go meet Mrs. Nwokolo and all of that." So thank you for that. So I mean, so that's the sort of thing that I believe in. So back to it. That's how I got into all that after retiring and getting into this field and all of that, just because I have a daughter and then wanting to add value or
Value.
make a difference in the field
So no.
as well. Yes. So
Yeah. That's fantastic. So I like the part that you mentioned that you now had to do your masters, which you have been deferring for over many years. Your first child is almost done with university right now, and you
yeah.
add on when you were supposed to do your masters. So this is an encouragement for a lot of women. A lot of women that have had pauses, they had to pause in their career path or in their line of business or whatever dream that you have as a woman, maybe due to family, raising a family, training your kids, or even whatever challenge, maybe it's even capital challenge or it's fund. You don't have to give up on those dreams right now. This is a testimonial. I just listened to a testimony from Mrs. Nwokolo that she couldn't do her master's then, and now look at it at her own free will, at your free time, and now using it for the right purpose. Because a lot of people were pushed because we wanted to get good jobs, were rushed into. Everybody just started doing MBA everywhere, just MBA, MSc, MBA. Everything. Some people didn't even know why they were in that class, and they struggled through till now. The salary is still the same thing with somebody that is even not even up to whatever criteria, whatever they use right now, when you should have sat down to see. I'm sure you would have done masters in MBA too as well, or something close or something in sciences or anything close to it, but you would
More
have
like
done have done this now that you are happy about, adding value to your own child and also to other people's children, and even training people to become such, analysts and technicians and all that, which is fantastic. So take your time and don't rush it. If you can, like I said, that a woman can have it all. I believe in that principle, but I believe that you can have it all in phases. For this phase, this is what you can do. For this next phase, don't want to be everything. We are not in competition, with the men, with the other gender. Take your time and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Thank you, Ezi Mama, for sharing that. I really love that part. That
thank
because
you.
I don't have my master's here right now. So for women that are feeling that maybe I had that and sick like this, so you should know that I'm also following. Maybe it's now that there is space, I can breathe small now that I'm on my own. I can now think of it. Because I really want to do something that I love, that I enjoy. I don't want to rush and just do just because everybody is doing it. I need to do it. No, it shouldn't be that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Mama. So has it been? Has it been now with Shades of Life? Care. Has it been? Because now, when I knew Shades of Life, the beginning, they just had like one or two technicians that were working with you. Now, when I see pictures, I'm like, wow! I see you speaking at conferences. You were the last GT Autism Day, conference. I see like over 10 people. I see parents come and get trained on how to take care of their child, and I like the fact that you are training parents as well, so that even when there is no support system, they can, enjoy this growth of this change in this. They are fantastic, because I see autistic children as fantastic children. They do the things that normal kids can't do. So,
Yeah.
how has the growth, come? How did it come? How did you get to grow that, in just a short time?
Yeah, so like I said, I mean, like for you that you know me now, I say, oh, go meet Ezi Mama, just whatever, and you call. But like I said, it more God won, and then that testimonial, having. I know that initially we had, like you said, 1, 2, about 3 of them have gone. People that you've trained or paid plenty money on top of their head, and they just carry bag and go. But I mean, people will always go. That is a given. You know what I mean? So that's not really a point for me. Is that
The
my
things
own is that
worry about, yes.
thank you. When you go and you want my name to be joined to your own, please do it right or not at all, or remove my name. That's my own position. But
Yes.
the ones that have stayed with me, okay, bless them. They've come to realize that, look, oh, this life is a journey. Okay, you need to equip yourself. And I keep saying to them, just be patient and stick with what you're doing. When God will make that way.
Yes.
And I said to them, I said, look, think of it was just one day I was thinking about, because every so often things drop in my spirit and I share with them. I said, look, before Daniel started interpreting dreams, he had to be in a place where he had to undergo training. Joseph underwent training. Many of them underwent training, possibly in other conditions they didn't like. Some maybe they liked. Even Jesus, before he even started doing it, he too underwent training. So
Yes.
if you want to shine or your time to come, just use that moment where you even have just one client, or like you said, 2 staff to train. I had to be prepared in order to impact people. So as far as I'm concerned, those moments were my training moments. Okay, get it right. Be sure that everything and then I had to use the skills from my work experience to build the organization, my own organization, because I said everything I learned, I have to replicate. And I know that that's not a wasted effort or skill, okay, because see, there are lots of organizations in the country where you don't have processes in place that will keep you going. So I had used that time to build the process. Okay. And as they come in, I tell them, this is what it is. Your friends may be earning 500K a month or 1 million. Oh. Me, I don't have that type yet. But this is what you can get. I'll train you, you'll get certification, and you can make impact. Okay. So they've now come to understand that, and thank God for that. And they keep learning. And of course, there's that relationship between me and them that is like, okay, you really don't know, because sometimes they will come and say, oh, they are friends that say, my people are talking. You, these people in this organization, we play. You won't even know who is senior colleague or middle or anything. We're just always, because in our field, this work, you have to express yourself and let go. Otherwise, you may, you may just lose it. You know what I'm saying? So there's been that growth, and like you said, from 1 to 2, now we're 10. And then of course the connections, the synergies all over, and that collaboration, finding people, and the parents also who are doing fantastic, who are appreciating the value that's been added to their family, the child's life, are also talking and sending people and say, oh, this is who I'm working with. You go. It's not everybody that will stay. Yes. Maybe because this service is not a cheap something. You know what I mean? There are people, thank you. So there are people who may not be able to afford it or not. And I'm thinking, how do I start a foundation who is going to give me money so that people can access it? Now I'm doing a PhD research. I go to the field and I see people and I'm wondering, how can a child who is 20, not for the lack of, or even 23, not for the lack of the parents not realizing or wanting to do something, but because they have not been in contact with the correct Um, Thank you. And here I am thinking already, my head has gone into that mode of how do I transfer this knowledge in this environment, in this condition, so that those who are at that level, maybe the local government level, are able to access this as well. So it's just,
I like
it's
that.
just,
All that thought. We are going to come to that where government gets involved so that the access to this facility can be to, because a whole lot. The challenge is not just for the rich. The challenge is for both to the rich and to the poor. Yes, the rich could be able to afford, to an extent, the therapy and the facility and all that. But how about the poor? Please hold that. So we are going to come down to that. You mentioned, parents get this experience on behalf of their children and they go back, they are happy, they appreciate the value. Now talking about autism. I was shocked. I'm in a group that there's a group on Facebook that I'm one of them, that they are majorly teachers and parents, and somebody raised an issue about a child, and a few people mentioned that the child could have dyslexia or autism or something. There could be an underlying challenge that they need to meet with a pediatrician or whoever to see what is going on. And somebody said and posted and said, "What is autism?" And I was like, oh, seriously, some people don't know this, this challenge. It's not a sickness, it's just, it's just a condition. And some people don't know. And so she said she has never heard it before. I was on that answer that, and I replied and said, you can Google more. I gave her some this. She was so happy. She said she has never heard about it. And that tells you a whole lot. That a lot of people, and somebody like that might even have a child as such, and she won't know. She'll think it's spiritual forces. She'll be running from one church to the other, seeking for help, not knowing that there are some things you can basically do, to start. So share with us, as a mom of an autistic child and someone also giving solution to autistic, children, what are the basic challenges that parents need to watch out for a child that is autistic, and for other conditions? Because I can say that Shades of Life Care is not just giving, support to autistic children. You said you give behavioral therapy using ABA science, for such. I mean, you do other physical challenge and all that. So share with us, how do they know this basic, things to watch out for, basic symptoms, and what can they do for parents in this condition?
Yeah. Okay. So because autism is a spectrum, okay? So you go from 0 to 10, for instance. Now, there are words that they've been using in the past which I never liked, and thankfully they've been thrown out of the diagnostic manual. They say, oh, low functioning, high functioning. It's more of a level of support. So if you come at it from that, you may have some individuals who are on the spectrum and are non-vocal, verbal, they are not speaking. So that's like my daughter, and they have other issues. Okay, it's yes, Ebenezer, it is key, and you see that if they're like me, whose daughter was non-vocal, meaning not speaking. Okay, it's easy to query things. Now you may have other people who are very vocal. Okay, the child is vocal, they are talking, they are saying, but when you listen to them, the things that they are saying either memorized or out of context, but they are talking. So, and then you have those that are in between. Now, those are all symptoms. Now, for the class, the ones that are more severe, let me use that word loosely, the ones that are not speaking, that's an immediate red flag. Okay. For example, and then you're calling somebody, you're talking to them, they're not even answering you. You think that they have hearing problem or whatever. And you see that this child, age 18 months, age 2, they're going 3, 4, 5, and you're still thinking it's spiritual matter or somebody in the village or one in-law. And these are all things I found when I did my master's. I mean, people have been addressing it, but that was my area in master's as well, okay? What do? Go and see your doctor, okay? Don't just think that because they are not speaking, it's about speech therapy or something. Exactly. So why don't we get a diagnosis? And there's a difference between that assessment and diagnosis. Anytime I say, people say to me, that must you have a diagnosis? And I say, yes. Because there are many, I've seen all sorts, apart from my daughter. I've seen a lot of children. There are some children who are on the spectrum, okay? They can read, they're hyperlexic. So anything you give them, they read. But when you, apart from that reading, they may even start as early as 18 months. Some mothers will say, well, I don't even, anything they see, they read, okay? But when you look at that other milestones in terms of their communication and language compared to this so-called reading ability, they mismatch. So what is going on? They can't even make simple requests of mommy, I want water, or that their age mate should be doing. Meanwhile, they are reading a Guardian newspaper, and there's no correlation between reading the Guardian or
relationship
newspaper and their communication. You know what I mean? There's a mismatch. All these are red flags. Don't sit there thinking, why don't you check? Because my daughter, I was graphing out older sister, younger ones, and I noticed this thing. And thankfully, I'm always talking. When I spoke to my colleagues then, they said, okay, sister, while we're praying, can you go and see doctor? Me too, I'd never heard of autism. When the doctor looked at us, they saw, okay, this one's como anything, no, let us break it down, which is what I try to do as well. But you see, you can still talk to people and they will not agree. You can't force them. Recently, we had somebody who came from out of town, went to see ENT. The child is 10 years or so. The ENT referred them to the pediatric neurologist that I work with. That one sent them to me. So can you imagine they're going to ENT? Why would the person go to an ENT? It tells me that they have noticed something. The child is not responding, and they think it's a problem. But ENT has checked, nothing wrong. Go and meet this person. That one too has checked. Go and meet Mrs. Nwokolo. So that the person carried their bag and went home. This is a 10-year-old child.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So we notice this, and I say to parents that it is not about us as parents. It's about that individual that God has entrusted you with. You can be selfish. It's not about you. It's not about your home, your ability to train. It's none of those things. It's about that child. Think about it. When you die, which is our prayer, we'll die before our children, Abi, and you, who is going to carry on that protective role that you've been doing since ordinary? ABAN. My dear, you know, it's an area that is very
very dear to your heart. I know.
It's so annoying, and you're looking at these children. Parents are wasting their time, and then you suddenly have a 20-year-old or a teenager who can't do it, who can't even wipe their butts after they've gone to toilet, and is still aggressive and all sorts of things. How many demons are inside the person? How many do you want to bind and cast when you could have done something as early as age 3? How many villagers are holding the child captive? How many? If it's village people, how many? There are always these red flags, but people are, they just.
I love the fact that you said it's never about us. It's about the child. It's about getting help for the child, and these are red flags, like Yetunde just said, right? Like you said too, that the child, I like the part that you also mentioned that the child might be able to read due to cramming and all that, but can the child socialize? Can he begin a conversation? These are red flags for parents that are listening right now, and you've noticed such setbacks. You need to do something. Call out and seek for help. Don't sit down there thinking that there's a little delay. Yes, there might be a little delay, but with diagnosis, these things can be confirmed. So at least when it's confirmed, your mind can be, at rest, and you can know what next to do. And just assumptions. And we Africans are so good with assumptions. Somebody that is doing me, somebody that is doing that. So, but we must seek help for these children, because, like you said again, that it's important that they begin to learn to create a life for themselves. Independency for these kids is very, very key. It's very, very key. So what for shades of light. So how are you able to convince parents that have this challenge? Maybe they finally come, but they still have the doubts. They still are faithing it that is not so. So how do you try to make them stay and provide this service for them?
I don't do the work of the Holy Spirit. So it's like doing evangelism and you're dragging somebody you must be born. Allow the Holy Spirit to do their work, be
Mm.
his work. So that's the same sort of principle that we operate based on. Okay. We've had people who come and say, "Oh, I'm too emotional, my heart cannot take it. In my family, they don't talk early. In my husband's family, they don't talk early." Then they turn around and ask me, "So what do I think?" I said to them, it's not about what I think. For you
Mm.
to be saying something, you're already saying something. Do you understand? So
Yes.
asking me about my opinion, I'm telling you, and you're still going around and say, okay. And sometimes I start with a basic assessment. I say, you know what? I give them a simple questionnaire or you feel. When they finish, and based on the results of this assessment, that is the screening. I said, based on this thing, it says that there's a possibility that this will be. So if they're still asking me what I think, I said, right now, the only way to confirm more is if we do a diagnosis. It's right here, we can start.
Mm.
I find people like that, the young parents, they'll break down in the office, and then I now try to explain to them. I say, look, call a spade a spade. Even and especially when I have the Christian ones that come in that are really Jim. I say, even Jesus saw one man and asked, what is your name? And he said, what? Legion.
Legion,
Before he
yeah.
can I said, Jesus will say, you spirit of blindness. So you must, even if we're praying for crying out loud, is it not fair to know what you're praying about?
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you're casting and binding, at least know what you're casting and binding, and so you know where to send it. Be like your master Jesus, follow him well. I beg you. Abi? So by the time I've said all of that, some actually relax, and of course you
Yeah.
talk to them, try and allay their fears. There are some that when they finish, we give the report, they shall still carry their load and go, and you don't see them again. They are nowhere. Mhm. It's okay, but at least I would have played my role, which is to lay it down for the person. If they
Mm.
at the end of the day then want to start the intervention, all well and good, we'll give them, the process and we'll take
Like,
them on.
I like that word. So the solution is intervention. So how does this intervention? How do you just give us not the call technician way, the
So it's
general? What are the things that parents should expect when they finally give in for you to work
uh,
on? We are talking about shades of life care, what shades of life is doing right now, shades of life supports kids that are individuals, not even kids, because now they get to see. I never knew 20 years old, 15 years old, those are grown-ups already, get to help them with behavioral, analytical way of urban science that they call it, to help change these children into, to help them
yeah.
independently be able to live for themselves. So share with us these intervention skills that you use in shades of life to help these
So
children.
it's actually called ABA for short. A lot of people go about ABA, but ABA is not medicine, it's a science. So the science of applied behavior analysis. Okay. So there are different techniques and it's offered one-on-one. So depending on where the gaps are in that individual, we take them on one-on-one. Okay. So whether you're learning to speak or vocalize or whatever, we'll just use that technology and the science to work on those things. So whether it's toilet training, whatever it is. And the beauty of the science is that it's not just for people who are on the spectrum. Okay. So you may have somebody that is dyslexic, for instance. You may have somebody that it just
Do you work on cerebral palsy? Cerebral palsy.
that's not our specialty, okay? But there are people that I have partners. So if we
Okay.
come, because something that we need to understand that a lot of these neurodevelopmental disabilities can
Yes.
coexist, what we call comorbidity. So
Mm.
it depends on what it is, okay? So like I said, I have people that I collaborate with. If it fits into more, and that's why again diagnosis is important, okay?
Okay.
So that if we have to refer you to maybe a neurologist or the physiotherapist or whoever, any other person in the team who has, so if this individual has all of these things and there's more 50 percentage depending on the ratio, the person who, the child or the individual is exhibiting more of their own area of specialty will
Mm.
take the lead. Okay, so if it's somebody that has maybe CP, autism, and physical needs, and depending on if it's the PT, then the PT takes more of the lead, and then we all play our role. So that's the way it works. ABA is a science; it's not medicine. You can even use it in sports. So when I do sports, for instance, I use the technology in sports as well, the science. I do all sorts of things.
Yes. We're going to come to that. So you're going to hold, that's the second thought you're going to hold for me. The first one was less privileged people getting this,
and this one now, sports.
So now let me quickly ask this. So how has been the results? Give us a percentage for the result of, so that parents can, have a visit, let them come to Shades of Life.
Well, the thing about it is that people always ask that thing of, oh, how long will it take? I say it depends on the child. But at least, and then what are the gaps we're working on? Okay, so I'll give you an example where we've had a child who's come to us that is it 5, 6, whatever, that because the older children too are coming, and this individual is not potty trained, is non-vocal, cannot talk, and so restless, everything. So we found it like for one of them, it's taking like 1 year to get them to actually vocalize because there was no words whatsoever. A lot of the behaviors and the child was engaging in because they were not vocal, they couldn't speak. And that's the thing, a lot of these behaviors we see are ways of them to communicate their needs. Okay, so the more they are able to speak and vocalize, the less those behaviors should become, because they are now able to tell you their needs. And before, if the person was going to, they want a bottle of water, for instance, they carry the bottle and throw it against the wall, so it's water. By the time the child is able to vocalize, even walk or whatever we've been able to get, you see that slamming of the bottle will be reducing. So really, the more direct thing is that there's no hard and fast rule of where it depends on the level of support they need and the extent of the disability or more of their ability. Okay, how able are they and how quickly are they responding to the intervention, to the process, if you see what I mean. So the short answer is that it's not like cesarean section really. We see as if you just have a bowel movement or something, they can basically discharge you and say go home. But with these folks, it's not as simple as that. Okay, that so it just depends on the individual's challenge. What are we working on? Okay, so it's more of a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. That's one thing I can say. Thank you, Princess. Yes, it definitely needs more awareness. Parents of older generations.
Yes. Okay, so we're back on the light. Yes, I had a little technical. It's back on now. Okay.
Yes.
We're talking about, so the solution it depends on the child, it depends on the support the child gets from the house, which is very critical. As much as you're getting an intervention and therapy for the child, as a parent, you also need to get involved. And I think that's where you always come in as well. You always support the parents coming into, your facility to get trained on the things they need to do, to help.
Yes. I insist on it because even if we have the child for 8 hours, I tell people, unless you shall dash me the child and say take, but if for as long as that individual is going to go back home,
yes,
you need to know, because the support has to be carried on. The same thing has to happen at home. So there's continuity, there's no break in it. And I'll tell you, like for during COVID, the lockdown, we transited a lot of online and all of the children that really made a remarkable progress, or at least maintained the skills that they had acquired, were from those ones whose parents had done the training. So when we were talking to them and saying to them, do this, do that, they knew the expectation, they knew what to do. So the children did not lose the skills. They either maintained it or were able to acquire, a few more. So that's why it's really important. And research has shown it as well. And if nothing, COVID has shown that we should all be responsible teachers and parents and wear many hats at the same time.
You can't be one line anymore. There's no fixed person to do this thing. Everybody must be able to do one or two things, And that's what COVID taught all of us, made us teachers, made us parents, made us everything, one in all. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. And so people, if there are parents out there and you have kids that you have been a little concerned about, as long as you have that concern, there's a reason why you have that concern. You need to seek for help. Let them don't let fear kill the solution for the child. Go for diagnosis, and let's even know what the challenge is. It could just be a simple ear issue, yes. It could just be a little, just support, prompt the child to be able to do one or two things. It could be that basic, but what you don't know, how do you want to get solution from it? So it's important that we seek help. So now,
the question of what you don't know won't kill you. In this case, it can kill.
No, it doesn't. I wanted to say it, but I know somebody has corrected me. It doesn't work like that anymore. It doesn't work. Even from every area of life now, it kills more than poverty. It kills more than poverty. So I quickly want to you also mentioned that solution part, that it depends on the child and the support they get from home for you to start seeing the result. Thank you so much. And so please, parents need to work on this. And if you know anyone, you don't have to be a parent yourself, but you've seen a child, your neighbor's child, you've seen and you feel they don't have knowledge about it, please give them that little push of support to see. I like what that wrote here too, so that even because our parents didn't know in those days doesn't mean that it's not affecting a lot of adults. There are lots of adults that they can't concentrate straight. They are restless. They are everywhere. They can't. They wait for you to to do things for them. And now that we know better, there are interventions that can help. So quickly share with us your other life, which you do fitness, you do, it's amazing that you are above 50. You are above 50 and you are retired from the usual life, and you're so busy. You're still busy. Like I told my husband, I said this woman wants to die empty. Nothing should remain. She wants to give everything. Want to give everything all out. How have you been with all those coping everything, even at your age? And yes, your kids are in school, but you can always find an excuse why you feel you have lived a good life. I've worked 20 years. But you still want to impact, you still want to do. So share with us.
Well, like you said, the other side of me is the student life or the fitness life. There's so many things, Abby. So, the student life, I'm still studying. I'm now doing a PhD in this same field. And thank God, hopefully it will soon end, though. I don't know who sent me, but it's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Let's encourage you.
Thank you. Some days are not nice when you be going to bed at 2 a.m., but it's all good, Sha. By God's grace, it will all be well. It's still for that same good. But when it comes to the side of fitness, that's my moment where I escape. I need to be able to re-energize after expending, and it kind of helps to calm me down, and just it's a moment, it's my time, it's my space where nobody else is entering. It's about me. So whether I'm
you also do you're part, what's that your group name? You're part of the second group. You do cycling. Yeah. What's the name?
So I ride my bicycle. Tomorrow now we're going to cycle. It's cyclotron. We ride the bicycle all around.
Some days she cycles though. Can you imagine? And she does for rope.
Thank you. I go jump rope, and they're not small jump rope, so serious matter. And I also coach, I'm a certified jump rope instructor. People always look at it and they think it's just take rope and be moving.
So
When
that's
you
how I
see
always do. When I carry the rope, my hand just drop. My husband got one of those kind of your rope, and I carried it, and the hand just went bim. I said, I don't want to do this thing anymore. I'm not going to
when
do this thing
you try
anymore.
and carry a 3 kilo or 5 kilo rope and you're swinging it continuously and you're doing all sorts of things,
And
it's
you
not
have a
rope
group
that the
of
weight is
witness
in the
women too and men that have joined you. I like the fact that you started this thing on your own, and now you have a team. Same way with
yeah.
your business, same way with
Mm-hmm.
the life, and same way with the cycling and all that. So what should
Yeah.
I think there's more that is coming. What is there any more thing coming from your end?
Who knows? Who knows? One of my team members just came on, Lydiana. So we're
Oh,
team Amazon, the amazing women. We are 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds, but we just get together and do our thing, encourage each other, whether
but
we're
you have to
walking or
watch out though. It's
running
no longer
or
now the
whatever.
30-year-olds are the one looking like 70. What
Yes,
is the 50
Ebenezer, I'm planning to go mountain trekking. I want to go to Kilimanjaro or something. He's
Mama?
actually I do
He's
mountain
slow down.
climbing.
Be calming down. Be calming down. Be
you
calming
know,
down.
yes, but I've climbed I've gone on some heights, skydiving as well. You only live once, just do everything, do
Mm.
everything. So I'm a certified coach as well. So we do personal training, gym instructing. I know for all of this, me, when I want to do something, I don't just go and stand with one leg. I appear goza, So I had to do all
Mm.
training, even the for the fitness training was a diploma. I didn't know it was diploma and I signed up. So there I am doing two research, looking at anatomy. Thank God I like biology to be looking at bones, skeleton, and all sorts. So but it's been lovely. I have people that were also coaching and training. And I just find time to balance
Yeah.
it out, whether it's grandmothers, young children, things like that. Just
Mm.
everything. You only live
That's
once.
amazing. That's amazing. See, you're
Live
motivating a
very
lot of
well.
people right now. Princess said it's not easy going back to school, in advanced age. I like that advanced age.
Listen, I'm not advanced, so I'm young, go.
You are. You are. Yes, so Ebenezer wants to join you when you go for the Kilimanjaro. Ebenezer is a doctor. I think he also needs to meet with you. I've given him your number to chat you up. He said he
Okay.
has, yes, he's into research as well, and he's an amazing. He's in Argentina. He's based in Argentina. He's
Oh,
one of Aderonke's live show fan. Fantastic young
wow.
man. We've been
Thank
friends
you.
from school. We've friends from. He's a scientist, and he would like to discuss with you. And I'm sure
Mhm.
you guys have something to do together. He has a company in Osun State where they get to. It's not. It just office is just in Osun, but they get to give the service everywhere around. They train people that are waiting for university or even collar jobs on science. Solutions they
Mhm.
can offer. Is fantastic. ESBS. I'm not sure if I'm right. Yeah, Lisa, you can put the name up there for me to see one more time. So, giving him your contact to boss you, and two of you can discuss further. This is amazing, Easy Mama. It's amazing to
Right.
have you on the show. And you are one woman, and now you have even gone to join women in business. I'm angry. I've been watching.
To think that I knew when women in business started, though, but I wasn't in business then. So now I'm in business. I might as well join now. Abby?
Yes, I just want to pay for that money. That money is not something small.
Thank you, Ebenezer. Thank you, Senna. See my prayer partner, Senna. Thank
She
you,
wants
dear.
your number too. She's a friend.
So,
She wants to discuss with you. Okay,
somebody
this my
is
friend Ronke is in America. She wants your number to discuss with. I'm sure regarding the service Shades of Life Care gives. I'm sure that's why she
okay.
wants to. There's
That's
one.
Aderonke, Abby.
Yes, that's Aderonke. Yeah. Okay, I think it's one of your members, Sinami. Okay, he said he hopes to
Senna.
join
Aderonke,
Sinami.
you're not a Yoruba woman. Senna me.
That's not the full name. I'm sure this person shortened it. So
What's
I'm
the full name now? Senna me. Waiting, she won't answer
what's the meaning
again.
of Sinami?
Eh?
What's the
Chinyere. It's the same as Chinyere, Abby.
Oh, but okay, let me.
It's that green name.
Oh, okay. Your people are coming from the line. We are going. Where I use people's things, we are going. We are, we cannot wait for all of you. All of them are coming online now. But it's amazing that they are on the show. Thank you, everyone, for showing your support. Izzy Mama is a fantastic.
Government, are you not going to ask them to
Yes.
give us
Now, yes, that part is very critical. I told you to hold that. No, I told you to hold two parts. I told you to hold the part. Okay, we've discussed the sport angle. So now the government. How do we need the government? How do you want the government to come in and support families?
If you know somebody in Lagos State or federal government, for me, it's not about noise. Do you understand? What I would really like is if they can send people from even if it's the health sector, to do training. Like now we're doing training for the next level from me, okay, and then technicians. So if you have a few people like that, they train, and we can have supervisory oversight for them, because I also have 3 of the staff who have reached that supervisory level, okay? Then we work with them, because not everybody that can pay the big price, like you said. So whatever they have, if government will subsidize for them, it will really be a great thing for them, especially for Lagos State, which is where we are right now. You know what I mean? So that they can begin to offer this service to them, okay? And have people who are properly credentialed. We've also formed that association for behavior analysis in Nigeria, where the members that are there now are people that have had the training the right way and are registered, so we can at least vouch for their training. That David said, you take your certificate, we'll do all the criminal background check and everything. So we're also trying to grow that. You know, we're supposed to have done the official launch pre-COVID, but COVID came right in the middle of the conference, the launch and everything. So we're re-strategizing and thinking how, for next year, by God's grace, to do an official launch. But if they can just work with us, just send people, so that it breaks my heart when I see those people.
So first thing, we're not asking for money. It's not about money right now. So don't be scared. No. If you know anyone in government, whether in Lagos, in any state that that you feel that they need the services, we know that they need it. We know that the low-income communities.
People are calling me from Kaduna. Somebody called me from Kaduna. Somebody called from Kabi, which state in the and I'm like, I don't know anybody there that is trained. I don't know. But you see, so if you have people, no matter what they're trained, and we can now work with them
and empower them. So anybody, it's not you that you know someone in governance. This is where you can use to support the less privileged. Some people complain, I don't have money, I don't have money. If you have that connection, is powerful, more powerful than the money. That connection is very key. We have people like Ezi Mama that are ready to support, to train, and like she said, she has a group of of these analysts that can support those children, and technicians so we can train them to become technicians, and parents can also learn, so that we can reduce these kids depending on people to feed or to care for themselves. They can have their independency, which is the goal, and they can enjoy life the way a child should enjoy life. Be able to run around, to be able to eat themselves, be able to do things themselves. So please, I call everyone, if you have those connections, reach out to Shades of Life Care. They are ready to give any government parasitic support, whether Lagos State, whether Ogun State, whether Anambra, Owerri, anywhere in Nigeria, as long as is within where they can communicate. There is visual meeting every day. There is no restriction. Movement is not a restriction now. We can meet online. They can do the meetings and give the right equipment to support the student. Please and please, we call everybody. Thank you so much, AJ Mama. Thank you. Somebody says she has a question and she has not asked. Ronke says she has a question. I'm sure she will reach out to you. So Ronke, please, you can send her a DM. You can. I will share her details. Okay, please go ahead, Ronke. Go ahead. She's still asking my question. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Question, please.
Now that we are going, because you know that the video will go off Facebook, I'm going to put it on YouTube. So it's not going to be on Facebook too. It's just going to be on Facebook for a few minutes. I will delete it and put it on YouTube. So you guys ask for them.
Leave them on Facebook. Okay, that's why I don't know them.
Yes,
okay,
because of post. When I leave it on Facebook, posts come on and people will not get to see it anymore. But when it's on YouTube, you can always go back, always, anytime, and get to
We can't see the question now, Ronke. Just ask me. Say, where is
I can't see the question. That's Monday. Set his question. I can't see the questions. I've scrolled up all the messages. The questions are not.
We do science outreach. Where is the question? She says here she wants. Okay, I have. Okay, what? Quick question. How many years of experience do you have as a board certified behavior analyst? What is your? Okay, so I started as a registered behavior technician. We're thinking 2014. So 2014 to now is 6 years. So I did. Then I was a board certified assistant behavior analyst right immediately, and then as I was doing
Ronke, you will need to reach out. I'll send you a number. You will reach out on our WhatsApp. I'll send you a number. Yes, our questions are not. Not rush our questions. So I will send you a number. Ronkus, don't worry, you're my person. Ronke is our number one.
So that we can answer. She's in Nigeria. Where is she?
She's in US. She's in US, but she can chat you up. She will chat you up. So you get
no problem.
Better. Let's not run. Yes. So thank you so much, Ezi Mama. I'm so grateful. She said she's at work, but she can always chat up. I'll send her the message. She will chat you up. So I'm so grateful. So grateful for you honoring this invitation. And I would like everyone, please, Shades of Life Care, the support and they provide. It's not free, it's not NGO, so don't think everybody is doing it. They provide, support children with special needs, teenagers, or even adults with special needs. So you can reach out to them down Instagram, the Shades of Life Care Limited, and you can call their numbers. They are in GRA, Oduduwa Way. Am I right? Oduduwa Crescent. Oduduwa Crescent. Yes, the GRA. And it's my I need to ask you, how is your relationship with God? I know, I think I have an idea. Even though
some days I fight him, some days we're best friends. So it just depends on the situation.
Thank you so much. Good to have you. Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, my darling. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Too. Always good to find your passion and follow it, Abby. After all that engineering that you went to school to read.
I don't understand. Even me, I don't understand.
No knowledge is wasted. No knowledge.
My love to N3, my love to N2, my love to N1. We can't wait to see them again. Please, I will be at their wedding. I hope you know.
Amen. Of course. And hug the boys for me as well.
Yes, don't go, because I know you can go and do wedding of 6 people now. Don't do wedding of 6 people for them. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Have a lovely night. My regards to you.
All right, then.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been fun. See, we cannot finish the. I'm definitely going to have Ezi Mama come on the show again very, very soon, because this is a topic that is also dear to my heart. We run an NGO called One Child, One Care Initiative. So anything that deals with children means so much to me. And she's doing one of those kind of areas that I don't joke with, because the foundation to the treatment, to the intervention is very key before the children lose it, and any way we can show support to them. So please reach out to our business and see how you can help. If you know anyone in government, Lagos, any government and anywhere, she's ready to enlighten, and teach people that are passionate about taking care of autistic children and see how they can put the right intervention. People have been doing the wrong thing. It's time for them to do the right thing. Reach out to the Shades of Life Care. They're at Oduduwa Crescent, GRA, Ikeja, and their numbers. You can reach out on Instagram, on Shades of Life Care. You get all the details, or you can DM Eziafakaku Nwokolo on Facebook and send your details or what request you want, or on Facebook, just reach out, send her a DM, and she will definitely respond. She has retired, so I hand her. She's free to do many things. So thank you, everyone. Dr. Ebenezer, all the way, a pleasure always having you on the show. Aderonke, please watch the replay on YouTube. Aderonke Onipede. I'll put the link and you can watch it. So for those that have missed it, please watch and see any way you can. Aderonke Onipede. A massive thank you to everyone once again. I'm so grateful, guys. Have a fantastic evening and God bless you. Bye. Good night, everyone.